Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. Listen, I had a different view plan for you guys. I was going to have my outside all set up, and I was just going to do the show from my porch. And when you know that this is the time that my neighbor wants to come out and cut grass. So I, regrouped and resettled, and so I ended up right here in the car where I used to come to you on another show. So listen, we're here today and we got some talk story for you. Now understand that you are able to call into the show at 757-724-1041 if you want to talk story with me on today. You guys have been blowing up my messenger, my text message, calling me. Did I get any emails? I didn't get any emails, but you guys have really been on me about what's going on in our city. Now listen, I am not a gossip column. I'm a talk show host, but we are going to talk about this thing today of what's going on in our city. But first and foremost, I must recognize those who came before me and those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Happy Memorial Day on tomorrow for the families, especially for those who gave up the ultimate sacrifice, and that was their lives. Let's not get it twisted. Memorial Day is not for the veterans that are still here. Memorial Day is for the veterans that have gone on, that have moved on, that gave their lives for us and sacrificed their lives for us. And that is what we're recognizing on today. So I want you to understand right now that when I say Happy Memorial Day, I am talking about the people that gave their lives, the veterans that gave their lives before us. And I pray that we continue to pray for their families and we continue to honor them accordingly. All right, now getting back. Like I said, you are able to call me if you want to join in on this conversation. Now this conversation, matter of fact, let me turn on my radio so that when you call me, they can hear it very well. You turn on the radio and then you call in and you'll come on my speaker. And so we can really talk about what's going on in our city. Okay? Because it's some things that happened this past week that we need to be discussing. And I want to discuss it. It's some things that's going on in our city that we need to try to understand. We need an explanation. Okay, because on this past city council meeting, which was on Tuesday, our city manager was fired, okay? And our city manager was fired by the 4 individuals that we knew really didn't want her there. If I remember correctly, y'all help me out, 757-724-1041. Y'all give me a call, because if I remember correctly, they were rooting for other individuals to be our city manager. Now that's neither here nor there, but this is the thing. A lot of us had different opinions on who our city manager should be for the city of Portsmouth. But once we got Miss Angel Jones, we ended up loving her. We ended up basically falling in love with her. We ended up accepting her. We ended up seeing that she really cared about the community. What other city manager have you known that went into these communities? Not every time she was called she could do it, but most of the time she was called, she stepped out into these communities. She wasn't afraid to go into these streets, and that alone was respectful enough. That right there made me respect her, because she wasn't afraid. She didn't just sit behind the desk. She was willing to get out and get amongst the people. And let me tell you, I am for one who believes that a person that's going to serve in the community should be from the community. But Miss Jones have definitely proved me wrong. She showed me that you can come into a community and care about that community enough to be able to want what's right for people. I'm not siding with anybody. I am giving you my interpretation and the interpretation of others that have contacted me, that has prompted me to do this show, because I was not going to do this show because I try to keep politics out of the show, except for the fact that I'm running for Portsmouth Public School Board on this year, November 2022. But what I'm saying is, I try to keep this type of stuff out of my show, but you guys wanted it. I mean, every time I turned around, it was you guys who were pulling me, sending me videos. People who have never sent me videos before, sending me the clip of Lisa Lucas Burr. Well, let me correct that. Councilwoman Lisa Lucas Burr sending me those clips. I think I got about 20 of her clips. Listen, y'all, I got it. I got both versions. I got the version that was cut out with the cussing, and I got the full cussing version. And we'll get to that later, because I know you want to know how I feel about that. But listen, let's continue to talk about our city manager right now. Listen, I had my own experience with the city manager. And I know that when I went in to try to get the grant to help our city, help our community, because I wrote, and let me be clear, I wrote a program which is copywritten, okay, through the state of Virginia. So if anybody get their hands on my program and think they want to alter it or teach it, understand you will get sued. Understand that I'm going to drag you through the city of Portsmouth for my stuff, because that's something that I created for our kids in our community. I just want to put that in, because you know, sometimes people think they can just steal your stuff. So anyways, so I wrote that program, and I presented it to her for the grant so that I can present it to our children. And she, even though I didn't have a 501c3, she really was impressed by the program. She wanted that program implemented in some way. Told me how to do it. Told me what I needed to add it. I mean, she could have just said, I'm sorry, you don't qualify at all. And not only did she do that, she forwarded my program to the head person of Parks and Rec, and I ended up actually just forgetting the grant and just becoming an employee of the city of Portsmouth. So listen, I want y'all to know that I truly believe that this was a woman who cared about Portsmouth. I truly believe she cared about her job, she cared about people, and I believe that she was a strategic person. And so what we have to remember, when a person is strategic, understand this, when you are strategic, you don't jump into stuff not knowing how it's going to end. You strategize from the beginning to the ending. And that is the type of person, if I'm not mistaken, she's like me, a veteran. She knows what she's doing. She was a supervisor, if I'm not mistaken. So she knows the importance of seeing the bigger picture, seeing the whole picture, starting something so you can continue with it and not have to end in the middle of it. And this is what I saw her doing. This is what I watched her do. Now, I don't believe that, you know, I'm the person to come to when it comes to city business, because I never desired to be on the city council, but I do watch. Now understand this, you can't rush progress. You can't rush progress. This lady has only been in office for a year. That's just like when I went to Korea, I could not fix that supply room that had been destroyed for 10 years. And 1 year, all I can do is put a dent in it. So why are we expecting miracles from people that cannot produce miracles? She was taking it step by step. She was reaching out, getting people to come in to help do things that needed to be done. She was talking to the community. She was including the community as was asked of her. She was making sure that all of these little groups, all of these non-profits and even not non-profits, for-profit, were actually implemented in the plan of helping the community. You cannot change people's minds overnight. You have to influence them, encourage them to want to change. So we can't stop the killing. She can't stop the killing. I'm trying to understand, because the council members that voted her out, I had respect for them. I have respect for them. Don't get it twisted. I know them personally. And, you know, I don't want to degrade them either. But I'm not understanding what happened on Tuesday. And I think that because you made it clear of why we should have her as the city manager, It should have been made clear why we shouldn't have her as the city manager. Why did you get rid of her? That's all we want to know. We know why you hired her. We understand that she had experience. We understand she had education. We understand that she was knowledgeable in what she was doing. So now why did you get rid of our city manager, whom we were happy with, whom we were adjusting to, whom we actually believed cared about us? Okay, that's what we want to know as a community. Why did she have to go? And please don't come to us with that we cannot put out personnel information and all that stuff. Not trying to hear that. We would like an explanation as a city why you got rid of someone who actually cared about this community, someone who was actually working in this community for the betterment of the people, and someone who was not showing bias. Now, I don't care nothing about the organizations that she was in. That has nothing to do with this issue. She did not show bias when it came to the people of Portsmouth. Okay? So I want to know what happened. The people want to know what happened. And I am amazed at how many people has reached out to me. I want to tell you, Portsmouth, I thank you for following this show. I thank you for your support, even through the change from season 1 to season 2. And I'm going to do exactly what I said I would do, and that is to be a voice for you. So we would like to know why you got rid of our city manager. What was the purpose? We're not knocking you, but give us a good explanation on why you would do that. See, sometimes we can get into positions and we don't understand exactly what we're supposed to be doing, as we're one-sided. We're one-sided with our decision making, but we, as the people of and the citizens of Portsmouth, we could see that this lady was strategizing. We could see that you was rushing her. She was being rushed, almost harassed during the city council meetings. I witnessed that with my own eyes. Listen, I can see, I can tell harassment. I've been harassed enough, especially in the city of Portsmouth. I can tell when harassment is being done. You can see it in the meetings. You can see the elephant in the air. You can see how uncomfortable she was in the meetings. So what we would like to know, because the people asked me to bring this to you, why did she get fired? That's what we want to know. We had an explanation of why she should be hired. Give us an explanation of why you fired her. Because we were pleased with her. We were pleased with the steps that she was making and taking. We were pleased with the level of care that she had for the city. So we want to know, why would you do that to her? Why would you humiliate her like you did? Why would you? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not, like I said, I have relationships with everybody that was involved. Okay, some type of relationship. But this is not about a friendship. This is not about relationship. This is about what's right and what's wrong. And what's wrong about this whole situation is the people don't understand why you got rid of practically the only city manager that we saw working in our community. The only city manager that we saw that really cared. The only city manager that we saw that took the time to even connect with the citizens in Portsmouth. That is what we saw. That's what we saw in her. And we were satisfied with that. We were satisfied with the movement. She could not, there is no way on this earth that she could stop the crime, the killings, all by herself. Absolutely no way. You couldn't do it as a city council. You couldn't do it. You couldn't even give her a suggestion on how to do it. The chief of police can't do it. The sheriff can't do it. We have to work as a community. And what we saw as a community was her bringing us all together. Her working us all in. Everybody getting a piece of the pie, the piece of the body to make this thing better, to reverse what was going on in our city. And now you fired, I want to say, one of the best things that ever happened to the city of Portsmouth. But why? Why did you fire our dear beloved city manager? Why? That's all we want to know. I'm not coming down on nobody, on anybody. I'm not coming down. I just want an explanation. I want an explanation. Now, the video that I had kept, been receiving, the video that everybody kept sending me was the video of our councilwoman, Lisa Lucas-Burke. What do I think about the video? Let me tell y'all something. I'm a passionate woman, okay? I'm a passionate woman. And right now, I know you can hear it in my voice. And I almost said the wrong thing a few seconds ago. You can hear it in my voice of how passionate I am, especially about when you mistreat somebody or when you're bullying somebody. There is no way that I can stand behind that type of treatment. So, what do I feel about what Councilman Lisa Lucas-Burke did and said? Listen, I have empathy for her because I understand the place that she was in when she went there. Okay, and on the other hand, a lot of people say it was unprofessional. So may it be. It may have been unprofessional as well. But I cannot say that it wasn't weighed out. I can't say it because her emotions took over. Her love took over. Her care took over. The fact that she saw someone being bullied and relieved from their duties without proper explanation, all of that took over. And guess what? She said what she said. And I will not sit here today or come before you today and come against her behavior or nothing she said, because I cannot promise you that if it had been me, I would have done anything different. And me, myself, knowing me, a true P-Town girl, it might have been some blows thrown. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm a fight, but I'm just saying it might have been some blows going on that night. Because when you go to someone like an adult and you ask them what it is that you want to know, and they give you an explanation, and then you turn around and get stabbed in the back, the stomach, and the neck, and realize they have lied to you and downright in your face, how else are you going to act? I mean, you're just, you're astonished. You're upset. And so I cannot say anything, and I will not say anything about her reaction. That was her reaction. Your reaction may be different. Yes, anger. Your reaction may be different. My reaction may be different. But one thing about me, I can't stand lies and I can't stand disrespect. So I can't say anything about how she reacted, because I never want you to say that I talked about that reaction and then I went out here and acted up. Because I know that I wear my emotions for other people, my care for people. Oh, that cuts deep when you cross me. That cuts deep, because I do truly love and appreciate our citizens and other folks. And when somebody coming against them in a negative way, baby, I stand up for them, because that is what I'm supposed to do. Read your Bible. Y'all know I'm a Christian. In the Bible, it tells us that we are supposed to protect those who are weak. And I'm not saying that Miss Jones is weak. I'm just saying that at that moment, at her weakest point, when people was coming against her, when they was these four men that should have been protecting her, that should have been redirecting her, that should have been talking to her like she was a woman, a respected mentor, a figure in our community, come down on her and embarrassed her in front of the city, not only the city, but the world, because it's all over the place. How else are you supposed to respond? I don't know. Just thinking about somebody being treated with that level of disrespect brings tears to my eyes. Now, I am sorry if I don't, agree with the way I think. I please apologize, but I am a loving person. And when I see someone who cares about me, who barely knows me, cares about our community, who's not a part of this community, it breaks my heart to see someone treat them negatively. So all we're asking from those four council people that fired her is, why did you fire her? Why did you get rid of her? We were told why she should be hired. Tell us why she should be fired, and fired in that manner. Why should she be fired in that matter? Why? Why? Why should she be called to the church? Why should she be called to the church and told to resign or you'll be fired? Why should that, why is that appropriate? Somebody tell me why it's not appropriate. Why would you do that to anybody? Because one thing for sure, two things for certain. If you're a man of God, you're a man of God 24/7. And you are not going to come against anybody negative like that. It makes me wonder. It questions your integrity. Why would you do someone like that? Why would you turn on someone like that? Why would you humiliate someone like that? Someone who has been trying, someone who has put forth an effort in the community. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Because even when you lead with love. You lead with care. And you can still discipline in a proper manner without humiliating someone. Y'all have to excuse me because sometimes you got to put yourself in the place of other people. Sometimes you have to stand in their shoes. And I can't take people being bullied. You don't bully people. You don't bring intelligent people around and bring them out of their comfort zone to your city, and then you bully them, and then you humiliate them in such a manner. I can't help but to cry because my heart goes out to her. My heart goes out to her. Okay? You don't do that to people. You just don't do that. And for all of you who allow people to tell you who to vote for, this is what you get. You hear me? This is what you get. This is what you get when you don't research yourself. When you don't figure out who got ulterior motives. When you don't take time to research people's past. When you stop paying attention to what they've done. This is what you get. I stood up and I told them, don't endorse this person. Don't do it. I told them don't do it. And they told me, we need him down there. That's what they said. We need him down there. And I told them they're going to embarrass you. But see, everybody thought I was bitter because they didn't endorse me in 2020. I wasn't bitter. I was still trying to look out for the citizens. And I told them don't do it. And they did it anyways. And now look what happened. I'm sorry, y'all, but forgive me. I'm so glad I'm doing this show on my own because my emotions are everywhere. I cannot believe what happened. And then for all of you guys to keep reaching out to me during this week and asking me about what's going on. Listen, I am not on the city council. I am not a news reporter. I am a talk show host, but I'm going to do my best and do what I can to support the city. And you wanted me to talk about it, so here it is. I'm talking about it. I do not believe in bullying. I do not believe in disrespect. And I certainly do not believe in lies from our elected officials, lies from anybody at that point, but definitely not from our elected officials. I don't believe in backstabbing, backbiting, gossiping. I don't believe in all of that stuff, and that's why a lot of people don't do me, because I will not play that stupid game with them. I will not disrespect someone else with them. I won't do it. I won't do it. Even if I can't stand you, even if I have no love for you, which is hardly ever, I will not dog you or drag you through the streets unless you have really done something to me personally. And so I feel like right now, even though we can't know everything, you should let us know what she did to deserve to be fired, what she did to be uprooted out of her comfort zone. What is it that she did? Because let me tell you something. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes, okay? And they can be rectified. But just because somebody didn't bring you what you wanted, when you wanted it, at the time you wanted it, ask them why. Find out why. Find out exactly what they're doing. Excuse me. Every time you ask that woman something, you didn't have to ask her in front of everybody or ask her in front of the cameras. What you could have done is talk to her and let her show you what she's working on. So you will understand. To me, I don't understand. I don't want to say it's personal, but that's what the community think. Let's get back now to what Councilwoman Lisa Lucas Burke said. Councilwoman Lisa Lucas-Burke said, and I'm indirectly quoting, she basically insinuated that there was some bribery going on. In other words, there were people being asked to pay for your yes votes. She didn't specify who it was that they asked, that was supposedly had asked for payment for the yes vote. But she insinuated that not only did she know about it, so did the city manager know about it. And so what does that say about what is really going down in city council? Now, we have no clue on what's right and what's real and what's fake, but at some point something needs to be done. Something needs to be initiated so we can find out the truth. Because why? We put you guys there. Regardless of whether we voted for you directly or indirectly, if you get there, that means we didn't vote hard enough for the other person. So we collectively put you there, and we need some explanations. Is this what's going on down there? She insinuated that she knew, and she insinuated that the city manager knew. Is this what's going on in our city? Are we bribing people? Are we expecting money for the yes vote so you can bring these businesses here? What is going on? At some point, we need to know. How do we need to know? There should be an investigation going on. I ain't for putting nobody in jail, but what's right is right. I think that we really need to get down to the nitty-gritty. See, let me explain something to y'all. I can do this show because I am me. I am not afraid of anything. No weapon formed against me is going to prosper. You can throw stones at me if you want to. I bet you my God is going to block them all. So it is what it is when it comes to me, okay? And I'm not putting down anybody. I am just saying what was said to me and what was said to the people. It has been insinuated that there is some crookedness going down there in City Hall. I don't know who's involved. It could be more people involved. All I'm saying is the people want to know. We want to know what's going on. We want to know, was she fired to cover up what was going on? We want to know, was she fired because she knew too much? Was she fired because she wouldn't give up off that money? Was she fired because lawsuits weren't settled? We would want to know what's going on, because see, one thing I know, that when people speak in anger, most of the time the truth comes out. Most of the time when you're speaking in anger, the truth comes out. And so I can directly say that Councilwoman Lisa Burke was not telling the truth. Okay? And of course, if I was insinuated in something as such as that, I would say no too. So what I'm saying is, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I just think that it should be investigated. I just think that we need to find out the truth. And we need to find out if we really, need to, well, let me put it this way. Whatever we find out, we need to continue to watch how we vote, because ultimately the people put these folks in office. And so we have to watch how we vote, because we don't want anybody that's going to try to persuade the city manager to do what they want them to do. We want somebody that, especially if it's illegal, let me say that, we want somebody that's going to allow the city manager to do what needs to be done for the betterment of our community. That's what we want to do. Listen, let me encourage you guys to call me at 757-724-1041. Now, I have already answered your questions that you sent to me. I'm amazed at how many people have sent me stuff. I'm just amazed. I really am. What I need for y'all to do, and while I'm waiting on somebody to call me, I need for you guys to invite people to my page, Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. Invite people to my page, and also we're going to have a competition. And so when you invite someone to my page and they join, I'm able to see who invited them. When we get to the 1,000th person, excuse me, the person that joined and the person that invited them will both get a gift. We will contact you and we will send you a gift. That's what we're running here. The competition. Invite people to like Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love, And the 1,000th person and the person that invited them will receive a gift. And you have to invite them from the page, okay? So that way we'll know that you were the person that invited them. So make sure y'all get on this competition, because it's important that I reach the community. It's important that I hear from the community, because like I said, I am running for Portsmouth Public School Board, and I have nothing else to give but my experience, my love, and my understanding, my empathy, okay? It doesn't matter what I believe in. I am the candidate for all, because I will make decisions that are fair for everybody, to accommodate everybody, okay? I don't believe in accommodating one set and not accommodating the other one. You understand? I believe in let's accommodate everybody. Everybody needs to be comfortable so that they can learn properly and teach properly and support properly. So listen, I'm asking for your vote, and I do have a Meet the Candidate event coming up. Can I get my assistant to put that in the comments, please, on the day that we're going to have the Meet the Candidates? I believe it is June 11th. Put the time for me, the date and the time, please, for the Meet the Candidate, and where it's going to be. It's going to be at the Pizza Box on Detroit Avenue. And also, on the 5th, I will be installed as the first female commander of the American Legion, the William H. Harrison American Legion Post 190, on Peach Street, 2711 Peach Street, at the 3 o'clock hour. I will be the first female in 76 years. And even though there were some oppositions, we still prevailed. God saw it through. He saw what needed to be done, what's done, and we are going to continue to move forward. Even with negativity yanking at us on our sides, we're going to push our post forward, and we're going to do some new things in the community. To me, it's all about community. It's about community, the veterans, and their family, and we're going to take care of them all. So listen, y'all, I haven't had anybody calling me on this topic about our beloved city, Portsmouth, so I guess you guys are comfortable with what I was saying. I'm trying to read your comments right now. And listen, I think a lot of people agree with what I was saying, that we are pleased with what the city manager has been doing. We're pleased with what she has been doing. No, the crime hasn't stopped, but if you notice, it kind of slacked up a little bit as far as the killings. And I do think that a lot of times, being that my background was in law enforcement, a lot of times it's in how you prosecute these things, how they're punished. Because I know if I was a child, if I was a young person, and I knew I'm gonna get life in prison, if I get caught killing somebody, I think I would think twice about that. If I know that I'm gonna be charged as an adult every time, no excuses, I think I would be, mindful. Maybe I should make a different decision. I just feel like sometimes, this stuff goes hand in hand. You find the person, you prosecute the person, and you set the example with proof, of course. You don't just want to throw anybody in jail, but with proof, and you set the example. I'm sorry. Nobody wants their child to be the example, certainly not me. But if you do the crime, you have to do the time. You have to do the time. Okay? So, she couldn't do everything on her own. She couldn't. I would like to know, other than the crime, what else is it that she's not doing? Other than the crime, what else is it that she didn't do that warranted her to lose her position? That warranted her to lose her position? Somebody tell me. Tell me, y'all. Give us an explanation. Give us a press conference. Tell us what happened that you felt, that the four of you felt that we should not have her as the city manager. I don't know. And I'm going to say that I was rooting for someone else to be the city manager until she got here. And then once I saw her at work, I was simply impressed. I felt she was doing a great job. So, I'm going to stand on mine. I know where I was, okay? And so I'm going through these comments, you guys, trying to see where it is I can come in and answer your questions. I don't see much going on, but as far as what y'all want from me, but I'm telling you this, We got elections this year. We got elections in November 8th, local elections. And then, 45 days prior, you can vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for except for vote for me. But I'm telling you to pay attention to who you vote for. I'm telling you to research who you vote for. And I'm asking you, don't let anybody persuade you to vote for anybody that you're not comfortable with. That's all I'm saying. If you're not comfortable with that person, don't let nobody just tell you, oh, this is this ballot and this is this ballot and vote for these people. Don't get listen, don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. Vote wisely, like they say. Vote wisely. Because I've been there. I can tell you guys some stories. I can tell you about some people that we knew weren't no good. We told y'all to vote for, and you went out there and you did it. I can tell you. I'm telling you. So I'm not going to put anybody down, but I'm just telling you what happens. You do your research and vote for who you feel is right. And I'm going to tell you, if you research me and you feel like I'm not the right person, I can still respect you more than I can that you voted because your mama told you to vote for these people. Because your mama don't know everything. I don't mean no harm, but your mama don't know everything. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know about some of them meetings. Okay? So I'm just saying, you be comfortable with voting for who you want to vote for. And if you did, we wouldn't be sitting where we are today with a great city manager oust. For what? We don't know. We don't know. We would like to know. So listen, y'all ain't talking to me now. Y'all ain't talking to me. Let me go. I'm still looking at some of these comments. Everybody, we need an explanation. We have a right to know everything, the good, bad, the ugly. Absolutely. Because she has woe in front of man. Because she's a woman. Maybe that's why she was bullied some. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to assume that. But, hey, I thought she held her. Oh, let's talk about how gracefully she left, though. Let's talk about how gracefully she responded. Let's talk about how she didn't get upset and start cussing and fussing and stuff like that. Let's talk about how she left with her head high up. Let's talk about that because I know that now I have a caller. Come on, caller. Real Talk Loud, Arnette D. Love. What's going on with you? What you talking about?
I just wanted to call and say they did the wrong thing when they put her out. Because at the end of the day, she met with parents. She met with families who lost loved ones. She cried on the shoulders with them. When in the Bible said, weep with those who weep. That's what she did.
Okay, but she did so much more. She did so much more. She
brought in grants. All that stuff was said the young man said he should have said the city manager brought in this. The city manager did this. He said he should have said it because then they would see just how much she has done. And she only been here a short amount of time. This stuff has been going on for years.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is not new. They put so much on her shoulders at one time and expected her to have this knocked out in the short amount of time that and y'all been there for how long? And y'all haven't even put your foot in the water? I mean, come on now.
These killings was going on, like you said, the killings was going on for years. Why would you expect her to be able to solve it in 1 year? I'm trying to understand the logic without trying to put anybody down, because that is not, anybody that know me know that is not me, but she was working, came off the rip working. She, so we can't understand. It wasn't just that you just didn't want her and you had the 4 votes to get rid of her. Is that what it is? We can't understand what's going on. I'm not trying to go into the back rooms with you, what you got brewing up. That is not what I care about. I care about an explanation why this woman was fired. Get mad at me, it don't matter.
My question is to them, because she already said she didn't do it for a paycheck. What are y'all doing it for? That's it. That's all.
No, she did. And you know what? Let me say something else she said. This is what she said. You have unleashed the dragon. That is what she said. And I can't wait to see what that means. I can't wait
also
to see what that means, because she said you have unleash the dragon.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm not pro-man. I'm not pro-woman. I am pro what's right. Okay?
That's right.
And in this case, it happens to be this woman getting fired, and we don't have, at this point, a decent excuse or reason why she was let go, why her livelihood was turned upside down, why she has to go out here and figure out what her next move is, or as she would say, pray over her next move, because we know that she was a woman of God. You can tell it in her
And that's
movement.
why she will prosper and she will get beyond this, because she is a woman of God and she allowed God to be the head of her life.
Absolutely, you can tell it in her movement. She don't have to say it. We can tell by the way she treated people. We can tell by the things that she said out her mouth and how she said it that she's a woman of God, and He is always going to protect her, uplift her, and keep pushing her forward. But that dragon that she spoke of, oh my Lord, I can't wait to see what the dragon gonna push out. What kind of fire is going to set in the city of Portsmouth. Listen, y'all, I am so glad to be able to come before you on today. I thank my caller for calling in, and I thank all of you who's going to chime in. Listen, be respectful when you leave your comments and all that good stuff, because, you know, sometimes the Lord, you know, just steps away from me for a minute, and I don't want to act crazy up on this doggone post. But I do want you to know that if I respect you, I expect respect. Listen, God loves you. I love you. Make sure you love yourself. That's the only way that you can love someone else. Pray for our city. Pray for our youth. Pray for our leaders. Pray for our first responders. And pray for our former city manager. God bless you till we shall meet again.